Hello, everybody, and welcome back. It's me, ChipZ, and it's time, at long last, for some One Piece. Sorry, I did not get to stream my reaction to Chapter 1065 last week. I mentioned this in Discord and on Twitter, but I've been sick. I've been sick for the past week. Not entirely sure if it's COVID or whatever. The tests, or the, the rapid tests I took were still relatively inconclusive. But that being said, I'm feeling much better now. I still have a little bit of a cough, so I apologize if I cough here and there throughout the stream. But yeah, I wanted to get back to One Piece. Apparently, big things are happening in the One Piece world, especially with Film Red out now. Still haven't seen it, obviously. Been too under the weather. And I honestly don't really have any major plans to see it either. If I have a friend who reaches out and says they want to maybe check it out, I might give it a chance. But I might watch it eventually when it comes out, or when it's available for streaming. But otherwise, don't really give a fuck. And just a heads up to anyone watching this live or after the fact, I haven't... excuse me. So I haven't read 1065 yet. That being said, I've seen a couple of panels, but I've seen them out of context. So, I don't know, what they mean, but I've seen a panel of, whenever we come across it as I'm reading the chapter. We did this a couple weeks ago when I had to do a double chapter for 1062 and 1063 as well. But it's going to be the same deal. The moment I come across it, I will let you guys know. I'll let you guys know I've seen this. But again, I've seen a few things. I don't really know the context for them, and I don't really remember them either. There's only one thing I kind of remember. And I'll obviously let you know when I get there. So without further ado, let's get into it, guys. Chapter 1065 of One Piece. Here we go. All right, so we're reading, excuse me, we're reading both of these chapters on TCB, yeah, so it should be cool. They generally do a pretty good job with the translation as far as I'm concerned. So, okay, let's see what we got here. So, One Piece for chapter 1065 was on the cover of Weekly Shonen Jump. And it's a big old ad for Film Red. Wonderful. You'll love to see it. Look at Shanks' daughter. Looking cute. I will say, her design, initially I was very, not turned off by it. Attraction really never came into the picture at all. I like her design a little bit more now than I did before. Maybe just because I like her jacket. This jacket, for a second I thought this was her tit. But then no, it's her fucking elbow. And I like her eye color. I like the little blush on her cheeks and on her nose. Her hair doesn't I still think it's kind of dumb, but whatever. She's over designed, and it kind of clashes with the sort of more simple design that we've come to know One Piece for, or at least that I attribute One Piece to. And that's kind of a larger, not an issue. It's not a big issue. It's a bit of a nitpick, but it's something I appreciated about early One Piece. It kind of felt like an early era manga, because early One Piece really was an early era manga. It was a DBZ type of shit, it had that very simple, it had a much more simple design aesthetic, which I think in my mind made it more endearing. And maybe that's just because I'm an old fogey and and I just generally appreciate, don't get me wrong, I like designs that are a bit more, are more complicated, but it's how it's more complicated that makes something sometimes less is more, as I've said before. But anyway, yo Doji, good to see you. Welcome to the stream. Just getting started here with chapter 1065 of One Piece. I don't even know the name of this chapter yet, and I haven't read it yet, so looking forward to it. Oh my god, it's the Shanks Pirates. Oh my god. Oh boy, it's Yasopp. Dad of the year. And we got Frankie with a gas mask, looking pretty metal, looking pretty based. Not gonna lie. I guess this is also a film red ad, obviously, but it looks pretty good. So Katakuri and the guy and that fucking random monkey monster or whatever from Shanks's crew. That's not Monster. That's another guy from Shanks's crew. So interesting. So these characters are all in film red. I haven't seen film red. I have no idea what to expect when and if I do see it. Uta clearly has fucking wings. Is she Sephiroth? Or is she a Lunarian? Probably a Lunarian, knowing Oda. Anyway, alright, so Usopp's crying because Frankie is scaring him or something. We got Kobe and Zoro, old pals. They know each other. We got Ben Beckman, or Beck Benman, depending on what you prefer. You know, Shanks is kind of the coolest character in One Piece, simply because he's the only character who has, like, still has a simple design, is strong just by being, like, a normal human. Like, yes, obviously he has, like, advanced hockey, you know, powers that he can shoot, like, hockey lightning across the sky or whatever. But what I like about Shanks is that he's not a fucking god like, you know, the elephant in the room, Nika over here. And he doesn't have unfair advantages. He's just a dude. He's just a dude who worked really hard and is kind of like just like gets real mad and just has a sword, has a sword and like Hawaiian pants. Oh, we got Rockstar over here in the corner. I almost didn't notice that. Gotta love Rockstar. You guys remember Rockstar, the guy who gave Whitebeard the message that Shanks wanted to meet with Whitebeard to talk about the Ace Blackbeard conundrum to prevent an all-out war? That's this boy over here, the red-haired spiky boy. He had a 96 million berry bounty pre-time skip, which was like about what Luffy's was with the time that we saw Rockstar. So it was pretty impressive dude, and Whitebeard made him shit his pants, so that was kind of funny. We got Helmeppo, Nami looking cute, as usual. Zeus, the 10th member of the Straw Hat Pirates, of course. Or the 11th, if you count Luffy. Alright, fuck it. Let's get into the chapter. No more dilly-dallying. What's going on in Egghead? Lab, Stratum, Egghead. The Island of the Future. Okay, so we're hanging out with Brook and Zoro, I guess? Punk Records. So it looks like a... So we're getting back to... Like, it's kind of nice. Like, I've actually been looking more into... Like, what's it called? Atom Punk? Because I'm really fascinated with the aesthetic of Atom Punk. And, like, honestly, this arc is kind of what sort of kicked off me wanting to sort of look into... Like, I've been actually, like, looking to read more recently. I haven't read that many books this year. And I wanted to... Essentially, I ended up ordering a lot of sci-fi... manga and a lot of sci-fi, just like classic sci-fi stories. Basically, like, honestly, this arc from One Piece is kind of what inspired me to get back into that stuff. So I'm very excited to read some more sci-fi because I haven't been reading much sci-fi in recent years. So pretty excited to get more into that. And it's not just this. Like, it was a compounding of things. Like, this came out, Cyberpunk, Edge Runners came out. There were a few other things that kind of like tuned me into like wanting to absorb more sci-fi media in general. So yeah, it's been interesting. It's been an interesting journey. I'm sure I'll talk about that more as it comes up naturally, or maybe I'll do a stream talking about like my book haul at some point. We'll see. Excuse me. The Lab Stratum, Egghead, the Island of the Future. The reason they stayed on the ship. The way I see it, when it comes to a government island, you got to think about who's going to be around to bail them out if they get caught. That's a great point. That is a great point. Because right now, like, when was the last time we went to a government island? I guess technically it was Punk Hazard, right? And Punk Hazard was kind of abandoned. It wasn't really a government island anymore. So technically, the last time we'd like really been to a government island was Enies Lobby. So... Yeah, but this time is different, because this time, instead of basically, like, charging into battle, like, going, like, attacking another island, like, basically starting a war. This time, we're just being invited in by the government, like government-affiliated people at least, as honored guests. So I guess, that's fucking fine. Okay, interesting, neat. But yeah, it totally makes sense why these dudes would fucking stay behind and be like, no, we gotta keep an eye on our fucking ship, of course, Makes all the... Excuse me. I still have a little cough, guys. I'm getting over a bit of a bug. So please bear with me. I apologize if it's gross. Okay. But yeah, Zoro makes a good point here. You got to think about who's going to be around to bail them out if they get caught. Yo, I was thinking the same thing, says Brooke. Would you care for some tea? So Brooke and Zoro just chilling, having some tea. Excuse me, sirs. You're still here? So these guys obviously notice Karibu at the last minute. Hang on, just give me a moment of your time. Karibu, the 12th member of the Straw Hat Pirates, counting Zeus. I know our deal was to drop me off anywhere away from Wano, but... So wait, when did they notice him? I don't remember him being found out. I thought he was still in hiding. I didn't think we'd be heading for a government island. I heard you helped our captain out. Appreciate it. See you around. So Zoro's just kicking him off. It's funny that they've kind of like bought into him being like a helpful guy. And I guess technically he did give Luffy all that food, but I'm glad he's still around because if all we'd gotten, like whenever a character appears in One Piece and then leaves for a while and then like has a cover story and does something interesting or notable in a cover story and then makes it back into the story, typically when they make it back in, they do something important. And he didn't really do anything important in Wano. He was just kind of there. And that's probably because Wano was like overly crowded. It's still a good arc. I still like it, but it just had too many characters, too many, there were too many balls for Oda to juggle, essentially. Like there was just too much going on. Like it could have used a little bit more focus, probably a slightly slimmer cast. I know it was everything in Wano was kind of like had been building to a head for a while, so it makes sense that there were so many people involved. But it's just part of the nature of writing a long, grand, epic story like this. And when you want things to kind of like build to a head, stuff like this happens. Doji says the implication we get here is they took him around willingly, but then put him in a barrel for the duration of the voyage. Honestly, I didn't even... Excuse me. I hadn't even considered that. That's pretty funny, because when he was in the barrel, I thought we saw his inner monologue a few times, and I thought he was just like kind of chilling. Like I thought he was like planning to, like I thought he'd stowed away. Like that's what it felt like to me before now. So I'm a little confused. I guess I'll take your word for it, Doji, but it's a bit confusing, bit like weird if that's what was intended. But whatever, I'll accept it. These jerks, I'll remember this. So now this guy is stuck on a government island. He's gonna end up like stealing something really important, and probably doing something extremely important as well. So that's kind of interesting. I am excited to see what Karibu gets up to. I don't like him that much, but like I am interested to see what happens with him. I don't know. Just because we know cover story characters typically do interesting things at some point, or factor into the story in interesting ways beyond their initial role in the narrative. All right, Lab, Vegapunk. Whoa! The stairs are moving. It's an escalator. New steps are sprouting out of the ground. What kind of setup is this? How is it powered? You could say the whole island runs on fire. Interesting. So like they're burning coal, is that the idea? Or something else? They're burning something for fuel, clearly. After all, you can convert its power into any kind of energy. Cool, yep. I mean, yeah, like, so, you guys know I'm a big fan of Elden Ring. I did a whole playthrough, part of it on Twitch, part of it on YouTube. The whole playthrough's on YouTube, start to finish. My initial playthrough of that game. Since it's come out, I've been playing a little bit, not as much now than I was when it initially came out. I took a long break. after I finish playing it. Now I'm just kind of playing it when I have free time, which isn't a ton, to be honest. But I've also been kind of like digging into the lore, and a lot of the lore and like the inspiration for a lot of like the different like themes and concepts in Elden Ring are like directly like kind of inspired by alchemy and like the alchemical process and essentially like the history and like philosophies and kind of the not just the history and philosophies but also like the sort of like the mythology around alchemy, which is very interesting. And fire is extremely important to alchemy, both in practice and in the mythology around it, in the sense that fire is literally the thing that you use to change the form of something. So like, and this is just like also a principle in chemistry, like essentially if you apply heat or apply like, you know, adjust the heat on a specific thing, it's going to allow the property of that thing to change. Like, which is interesting. So yeah, it's cool that that is kind of a principle here as well. I'm not sure how much it'll actually factor in, but that is interesting. Doesn't that burn through a load of natural resources? It's always looking into alternative fuels. I'm always looking into alternative fuels, says Vegapunk. If only there was such a thing as an eternal flame. Now that's an Elden Ring thing right there. And also an alchemy thing, actually. But yeah. Then I'd be able to make my very own sun. This is straight up Dark Souls right now. With the very own sun. Where are you, Solaire? Motherfucking Lillinette Vegapunk bitch. But anyway. A sun slide. What the? She's going right through the wall. Lilith. Oh, she's just phasing through. That's cool. And they're stuck outside. Oh, I guess she's kind of like a hologram projection like the other ones were, right? God. Fucking. She's got the BBL with the fucking giant ass tush, but like the skinny ass. I guess that's all One Piece girls, but like goddamn, dude. Hey, open up. So they're stuck outside. Lilith-chan, stop dilly-dallying and walk through. You should never let your own senses dupe you. So I guess everyone can walk through. It's just an illusion. What is it, Edison? So we got fucking... Oh, wait, are we gonna get Edison and what's his name? Tesla? That'd be interesting. Slide. So Sanji's sliding through. Robin's sliding through. Man, you know what would be hot? This might be like some fetish bait, but like Robin could literally like make it so that her fucking like she could form her own ass like into like into like just being the back half of her sticking out of like a wall. Kind of like I'm just saying. Do with that what you will, people. We passed through too. But damn. No way, it's turned back into solid metal again. Knock knock. How the heck does that work? So this is the lab. This is cool. This is a cool little exploration time with the Strawhats. Just chill. Being escorted around by this BBW over here. God damn it. So this is the lab. Where did Lilith-chan get to? Hey. Y'all can keep going dead ahead. Who said that? How the heck does that work? Who's that? I'm Vegapunk Edison. Speaks in a heavy Kansai accent. Okay, don't know what that means. Probably a southern thing. Howdy, now just keep walking, like I said. Let's look for some future treasure, says Nami. Future treasure, like what? Like a flower made entirely out of exquisite antique gems. Nami, you're just making shit up. That's a weird fantasy. I can't tell if your taste is closer to a little girl or an old hag. Good point. And then Nami kicks his ass. Future kick! That's actually pretty funny. That Nami just kicks him. Just for making fun of her. Gwa! Huh? Hey, what are you doing here? Hey, what are you doing here? So wait, it's these guys. Oh shit. It's Seraphim number 4, baby jinbei. We literally got like, have you guys ever seen like Muppet Babies or whatever? That bullshit that was like kind of like a, not, it wasn't like a reboot. It was just kind of like a kid show, like, you know, geared towards like 10 and under. That was just kind of like the baby Muppets. It was on like Cartoon Network growing up. Yo, what's up, Anon? How you doing? Good to see you. Welcome to ChipZ Ahoy, where we talk about One Piece as it comes out, even though we're a week late on 1065. But I haven't read it yet. I'm excited to get into it. If you could, do your best not to spoil. But that being said, it's going to be a fun time. I don't really care that much, to be honest. So they're meeting baby jinbei. He's probably going to kick all their asses. It's going to be really funny. Baby Seraphim jinbei. Very interesting. Future kick. Gua! It's so okay, this is cool. I like that the Seraphim / like Lunarian stuff that got introduced in Wano wasn't just like a one and done. Like, I know people have been memeing on like, oh, the spliced Lunarian DNA, but like, okay, if Lunarians were just a thing that got introduced in Wano and then never got brought up again, you would be writing, well, like, why the fuck did Oda people would be saying, why the fuck would Oda introduce the concept in the first place? Like, this is interesting. This is a... excuse me. Still getting over a cough from last week when I was sick. But what's interesting is it's cool to see that, like, the king being captured by the world government mattered. Like, it like, had a impact on the world at large, which is really interesting. And now that we know how their powers work, it makes them, like, we're already, like, kind of intimidated by these guys, just, you know, by the nature of how strong King was, you know? And, like, it's their power, it's that power mixed with the power of the Shichibukai, or the former Shichibukai, at least. So, really interesting. Seraphim jinbei. Nice to meet you, young man. I don't think that's him. I wonder how they recognized him, because, like, yes, it kind of looks like him, but it's clearly child jinbei. I imagine that they're children because they were grown, you know? Like, they must have, like, all the Shichibukai must have, like, they had DNA samples for all of them, and they must have just, like, screw them and had them just, like, age more rapidly than they otherwise would. That's a lot of times how cloning works in sci-fi stories. I don't think that's him. Doesn't he look a little too young? Well, my first guess would be he's his son. Yeah, but on second thought, maybe jinbei was somehow turned into a kid? Nah, I'm going with option 3. It's a coincidence. I mean, the kid's got wings, although there's an ominous air about him. Out with it. Who the heck are you? I like how funny. I like how derpy baby jinbei looks. He literally does look like a fucking... Like, he looks like a guy on Sesame Street. but I kind of love it. I like his design. I like his child... Excuse me. I think I like his child design more than his adult design. He may look like a kid, but he's just as big as the real jinbei. Damn, for real? I've got a bad feeling there's a fourth possibility. He's a pacifista. And he starts fucking firing his laser. Pretty sick. Blows them all away. Wah! Boom. Yeah! This was all one giant trap. We should have known the government was never going to roll out the red carpet. Does that mean they're using a clone of jinbei as a soldier? But he's still a kid. I really don't want to fight him. I mean, that's a good point. Like, it sucks because, like, this guy clearly doesn't have any agency. He's just, like, fighting on behalf of the government. But he is, like, is he still a person? That's what I'm wondering, you know what I'm saying? Like, should we consider his humanity? Beep, beep, beep. And then he does the fucking, the Senor Pink dive underwater, even though it's not water, it's the fucking ground, like Senor Pink. That's interesting. But he's still a kid. I really don't want to fight him. So he goes swimming. You see Nami's whole ass crack. Nice. Aha! He's got fruit powers. What's going on? Should I pop out to help Nami? Not yet, Zeus. Hey, I know that ability. Dude, yeah, it is Senor Pink. Oh, fuck. And he's fucking... That's a thick-ass boy right there. God damn. Gah! Nami. Is Nami about to be fucking killed and raped by a fish man? Just like her childhood? God, that would suck. Okay. Gah, Nami. Jinbei. That's it. You just signed your own death warrant. I don't give a crap whether you're Jinbei or not. Nice. Sanji coming in clutch. Hell yeah, dude. That's awesome. Kicks the shit out of Jinbei, which is what I've been waiting for. I want Sanji to kick the shit out of Jinbei. Fuck Jinbei. No, I'm actually fine with Jinbei, but I mean, I'll be honest, Jinbei is really boring. We need to see him be a bit more, not more goofy, but just like, we just need to see more from the, like, he doesn't, his personality just isn't that interesting to me. You know what I'm saying? He's definitely like a bottom tier Straw Hat. Excuse me. Alright. So cool. We're getting a little fight. So by laying a finger on Nami, he's like, Sanji's like, nah, fuck that. So he kicked the shit out of him. Gigante Flior. What he said. That was unforgivable. So even, damn, Robin's looking fucking mean as fuck. Sea Serpent. Hell yeah, God. Oh, Jesus. Big Robin. Whew. 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 Big Robin. My God, girl. My God. Snake Dragon Spank. So she's spanking Jinbei, which is something she's been wanting to do for a while. But he goes on, he dodges it. Goes underwater. So Sanji got him. Robin missed him. Snapdragon Spank. Snapdragon Spank. Not Snake Dragon Spank. Excuse me. So he comes out. He's picked up some goo. So it's cool. It's actually really cool to see Jinbei with Senor Pink's power. Like, that's actually a great power for Jinbei. I never even once considered, like, what Jinbei would be like with a devil fruit. But this is actually this is a really cool fight. So Jinbei comes up. He's about to smack Robin with some of his cum. That's what that looks like. But Robin, double cheeked up on a Thursday afternoon, is about to be assisted by Usopp. So you can use Fishman Karate too. Nice, Usopp. Way to go, boy. Lethal Green Star. Skull Exploding Grass. I know this isn't Jinbei, but this still feels messed up. He's gone. So he dodged it, I guess. Or not? It's hard to say. It's hard to see what's going on here. So, no, it looks like he was hit. But maybe he got away afterwards? Clutch. Now he's got fucking Usopp in the clutch. Usopp! I've got this, Sanji. Usopp, don't move a muscle. Nice. Radical. Watch it. Shark. Beam. Howie. So whoever is... So I guess this is Einstein? No. It's Edison. Edison is watching this whole fight. I mean, young Jinbei's design is great. It's like, this is what I was talking about before with how, like, simple designs are kind of in my, like, it always depends, right? Like, sometimes you have, like in a sci-fi series, like I started reading Dorohedoro, which is a sci-fi series, and every design in that series is, like, not, like, necessarily complicated, but, like, sort of, like, everything, like, it's a sci-fi, kind of, like, dystopian sci-fi world. Everything, like, looks like there's much more bells and whistles to everyone's design. It's a completely different series, though. In a series like One Piece, especially early on, like, the designs were much simpler, which I think served the lighthearted tone of the series back then better. But it's still nice to see, like a simple design come into play every once in a while. Like it's cool. It's cool. You'll love to see it. You'll love to see it. Jinbei, young Jinbei's looking great. Looking like a thick-ass boy. I like the white hair on him. I kind of like him with dark skin better. Like, it just looks more natural somehow. And I like that, like, he looks like a fucking an Oni or something. He looks cool. Ahoy! He just used a beam. Who in tarnation is this guy? Frankie arc, baby! Yeah! We're getting the Frankie arc. Here we go. Better be a fucking Frankie arc. I mean, Frankie saving the day is pretty cool. Who in tarnation is this guy? I reckon this is getting real risky. The Seraphim's still just a kid. We ain't meant to put it through a laser test till later. Dr. Vegapunk, Edison. So, damn. So they're already fighting a fucking Seraphim. Holy shit. You said it. Does he have the faintest idea how much one Seraphim costs? I'll rip his blasted skull off. Ah, wouldn't go that far. Don't you think that's a bit too evil? Oh, Eureka! I've just thought up a new invention. I like that Edison had a fucking light bulb go off. That's pretty funny. Oh, who's this funky-looking wind-up boy? I'll leave the rest to you, Pythagoras. Oh, Pythagoras, the mathematician. That's interesting. I like that all these different Vegapunk versions are named after like different famous inventors and stuff. So I wonder if Lillinette's like someone like from history, or if they just named the cute girl name. I have no idea. But obviously I've heard of Edison. Obviously I know about Pythagoras, who famously invented the Pythagorean theorem. Math. I'll leave the rest to you, Pythagoras. I have to jot down the blueprints right away. Pythagoras, of course. You don't come across battle data this rich every day. This is a once-in-a-lifetime Pythagoras doesn't have a Western accent. You don't come across battle data this rich every day. I'm gonna do a robo voice for this guy because he looks like a robot. Of course, you don't come across battle data this rich every day. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Let's get some input. I think that works for this guy. I like that they're all called Dr. Vegapunk, but he's the wisdom one. This guy's the flair. Interesting. Lillinette is the anger or something. I mean, Lillinette, you really shouldn't be pissed off, but I guess she's evil, so whatever. My hands are always so full. At this point, I'd have even take help from the cat. Meow. So who the fuck is the cat? Is this Bonnie? Jesus Christ. The ideas won't stop flowing. York, be a doll and eat something for me. What does this mean? Sure thing. Munch munch, delicious. Bring seconds for Dr. York. Her current BMI is over 600. God damn. That's some fat shaming right there. Yeah, what the fuck? So, I guess they all share a fucking stomach? Is that what that means? Eat something for me? The Seraphim's attack patterns have continued to develop as it grows. That suggests that one lineage factor really does store some of our recollections and capabilities. Interesting. So we're getting back to the lineage factor, which is like DNA in One Piece. Interesting. The Seraphim's attack patterns has... So interesting. So it's saying that like the DNA informs like the fighting style? Oh god, that sounds really stupid. But okay, I guess so, whatever. The more I think about that, the more I think of like, oh, that's some hack bullshit. We're not people based on our experiences. We're fucking predetermined by our DNA. Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you, Oda, for that insight right there. Appreciate that, dude. Doji says, willing to borrow a cat's paws is a Japanese saying. It means you're really busy and could use a hand. Oh, thank you. Namaste. No, that's very helpful. Appreciate it, Doji. We should try and accelerate their growth, although that presents new obstacles. Green blood concentration has risen and heart rate is up to 90 BPM. Oh, so this is the robot guy again. Pythagoras. I really need the toilet. I really need the toilet. I'd go myself, but I can't afford to waste any time. Flush? So wait, this is the same girl who ate something for him and then she flushed the toilet and now she's skinny and hot? God, what the fuck is going on, man? I guess they share a bladder. So she shits. She takes a fat dump. And these guys say, wow, that hit the spot. Man. What the fuck? This is pretty funny. I can't lie. So she shits for all of them and eats for all of them. That's pretty great. Gotta punch something to help me digest. So sleepy. And she also sleeps for all of them. Vegapunk York. So this is the desire of Dr. Vegapunk. So it really is like kind of like the 7 deadly sins in what's it called? What is the series? Full Metal Alchemist. Yeah, it's like those guys. Very cool. Very cool. Interesting. I'm loving this this idea of like Vegapunk being like splitting his different aspects into different parts of like different like people essentially. That's kind of cool. It reminds me a lot of like Pain from Naruto, which was cool. That was also a cool thing that Pain could do. And it's cool here. It also reminds me a lot of like Father from Full Metal Alchemist, and it's a big alchemy thing in general, like splitting aspects of yourself or like bringing together different like two different like things and kind of like making them one. Both of those things are like very prominent themes within like alchemical mythology, and are incidentally prevalent in Elden Ring as well. If you haven't played it. Oh, God, but she's fucking spreading it for everyone to see. God damn. Anyway, so I just got that fat puss out. Okay, anyway, so sleepy. Dr. York, on today's 4th SDN cycle, snack dump nap. The SDN is snack dump nap? Are you fucking kidding me? What the fuck? What? This has got to be a translation thing, right? There's no way Oda wrote snack dump nap. I mean, maybe he did. I don't know. Oda's a funny boy, but I feel like this is some TCB buffoonery going on here. This is a translation thing. Snack dump nap. That's awesome. That's awesome. The desire. I mean, that's all I ever wanted out of life was to snack, dump, and nap. I mean, that really is the basis of human needs. Like, that is the cycle of needs right there. You know? Most people can live, you know, without like a lot of things, but snack, dump, nap does really kind of, it's the basis of human needs. So yeah, I wonder, does she also fuck for all of them? If we're talking about desire and needs, I assume she's the one who's gonna fuck Sanji. when they get horny, it all goes to like, basically they're like, yo, you gotta go fuck somebody. Yeah. Maybe they have like a fucking Seraphim. Who would be the Seraphim with the biggest cock? I mean, they're all children, so never mind. It would have to be Kuma. It would have to be a Kuma clone who has to lay that pipe. Or maybe she just uses a fucking one of those fucking machines. Never mind. Anyway, carry over all the materials Dr. Pythagoras needs. Also, Dr. Edison is prepping for another experiment. Go to simulation room 88. That's enough, Seraphim. Return. I can't move. Edison, Lilith, Pythagoras. So who can't move? Is that Nami? Or is that Usopp? Edison, Lilith, Pythagoras. You three have had your fill, too, right? Aw, what a shame. Of course that scoundrel butts in when things finally get good. Eureka! I'm Dr. Vegapunk. Shaka. This is number 1. So is this the OG? We got fucking Daft Punk over here. Hell yeah. I like that Oda made Dr. Vegapunk Daft Punk. That's pretty funny. That's actually hilarious. Is he gonna? Does he talk with like kind of like a fucking what's it called? Oh God, what am I thinking? Does he talk in like a robotic voice, like kind of like a I wonder what the anime will actually make these guys sound like. I am actually very interested to see that. Because I feel like they might give this guy like a fucking like kind of like a like they might auto-tune his voice. That'd be pretty funny. I'm Dr. Vegapunk, Shaka, you must be the Straw Hat Pirates. I don't know, I'm just going to do a normal voice for him. I feel like this guy's going to do a lot of talking. So he's the logic, which is cool. He's the logistician, or logician. But yeah. Interesting. You must be the Straw Hat Pirates. That's us. What the hell did you do? Did you do to our shoes? They're stuck to the floor. So he magnetized their shoes or something? And they can't move? That's not good for Sanji. He needs that shit. Dom's shoes can be magnetically disabled at any point while in the laboratory. So you're saying resistance is futile then? Is that what Robin says? I know better than to let my guard down around pirates. Wait, we've already met 2 Vegapunks, that woman and the other one on the speaker. Yes, but I am also Vegapunk. It's like that episode of SpongeBob where there's like, I'm Squidward, he's Squidward, you're Squidward, I'm Squidward. Are there any other Squidwards I should know about? And then Gary's over in the corner. It's an episode where I think Squidward he's like trying to, I forget what exactly happens. He's like trying to sell his home or something. But then and they have to like present the home to a realtor. And then SpongeBob wears like a fucking coral on his nose and looks just like, and makes his fucking head bulbous at the top and looks just like Squidward. Patrick also does the same thing, looks like Squidward, and they all do a Squidward voice. And then the real Squidward introduces himself and he's like, I'm so sorry these guys have been such an asshole to you all day. And then she's like, who are you? And he's like, well, me, I'm Squidward. And she's like, what kind of fool do you take me for? He's Squidward, you're Squidward, I'm Squidward. Are there any other Squidwards I should know about? And then Gary, the SpongeBob snail pet, comes out, and he even has like a pickle in between his eyes, and he says like, meow. And then, and then everything goes to shit. It's hilarious. This is just like that. Perfectly analogous to that. That's us. What the hell did you do to our shoes? They're stuck to the floor. Resistance is futile. Yes, but I am also Vegapunk. Oh yeah, did I forget to mention I'm Vegapunk too? So there's the classic Squidward joke from my boy Usopp. Would you cut it out? Do you think this island looks like the future? Says Vegapunk. And then Frankie starts to freak out. It's beyond the future. I mean, just look at those mecha sea beasts. There's also Vegaforce 01 and the island's aircon too. This is as futuristic as it gets. And Nami says, I've never seen anything like this place before. For real, what kind of goodies are you making here? I want to take a full tour to take it all in. There's no way you and I wouldn't get along. ... You feel me, Vega-chan? So Frankie's freaking out, of course. It's actually quite the contrary. This is an island of the past. Whoa! Whoa! So wait, is this like revealing that the world used to be much more advanced 800 years ago? Before the fucking world government? Yo, dude. Yo, this is some ancient alien shit, bro. Oh my god, I love it. That is awesome. Fuck. That's some good shit right there. That's awesome. Huh? Check it out, Chopper. You can tell because it's all rusted and stuff. It's real metal, not another hollow thing. Whoa! What the heck? Could something like this really move? If it could, how is that level of tech possible? So we're back with Luffy, Chopper, Bonnie, and Jinbei? For something so ancient looking. What do you mean by past? Well, what if I were to tell you that long ago, there was once a highly advanced kingdom, the D Kingdom, the D Clan! Not unlike Egghead, not unlike Egghead when it comes to technology. A civilization from 900 years ago. Would you believe me? No, 900 years ago? So what does that mean? Is this... So, okay, just heads up, guys. There are 2 panels I had seen before this chapter, at least that I remember, before this chapter came out. The first one was this one, with this, Desire, or York, just, like, chilling out, all splayed out on this, this bed here. And then this one, with this ancient guy, with the armor and the horns, looking like oars up in here, but I guess he's a robot. Not unlike Egghead when it comes to technology, a civilization from 900 years ago. Would you believe me? 900 years ago? What was the world like back then? So this is like the first actual real glimpse we get into, like, what technology, like, what the world 900 years ago, like, before the Void Century, was like. And that is fucking sick. What an awesome way to reveal that. This is an island of the past. So Egghead was an island that existed in the past. And there was technology just as advanced as we have today, if not more. If not more so. Wow. So the world, and Luffy's running up it. You can see him running on top of this thing. That's cute. Wow. And what a great reveal. God damn, dude. God damn. It's you know, I like, personally, I am a sucker for a very specific type of, like, if there's a trope in media that I am a sucker for and will get me every single time, it is when we learn that before, like before the present, there was essentially a civilization in the past that was just as advanced, if not more advanced, than current time, or advanced in other ways, or in specific ways compared to modern day technology and sensibilities, that has been forgotten. Or basically whenever there is like a previous civilization with its own like culture, and like when it's been forgotten or it's been laid siege to for like reasons of like kind of storing power in a very specific place, especially like when there is like a civilization buried underneath another civilization, like those are all like ancient civilization shit, especially when the civilization was advanced for its time. That fucking fires neurons in my head, man. That's some of the coolest like shit like you can imagine, because it's like, what happened? Like, the immediate question is, what the fuck happened that made this civilization that was so advanced and so prominent fall to ruin? Like, that is a amazing, like it's as far as like, I guess, like questions that get my brain like fired up and get me like stewing and get me thinking about shit. Like, that right there is what it is. And like, this is awesome. This is so cool. It was the same way in Wano, at the end of Wano, when Sukiyaki took Robin and Law to old Wano, below current Wano, and explained what happened. During the Void Century, with like the walls getting erected, and then like the rain kind of like slowly burying old Wano, and them having to take refuge like up above. So Wano used to be much bigger, and even underneath that there is Pluton, and the way to get to Pluton is to destroy the walls, to bring down the destroy Wano's borders, or bring down Wano's borders, which is something that Odin wanted to do. Like, it's so, to me, that's just so interesting to learn about like the past civilizations and like why they did the things they did, especially in a fictional story where it's not just like, oh, like there was this old civilization and something happened to it, but it's like, no, there's knowledge to be found in this old civilization that can affect us today. And there's technology and things from this ancient civilization that was buried for a reason. So what can be used from that? Where do we go from here? Is like one of the most, and like, and like, why was it buried in the first place? Like, those are all incredibly interesting questions. At least to me, I find that fascinating. And I find this fascinating because the Void Century, like, yes, to some degree, I always thought, like in the back of my head, like I didn't have that many particular ideas as to what existed in like 900 years ago with the D clan and the, you know, kings that came together to form the world government. I did consider that that time period might have been maybe more advanced in some ways, but I figured it'd be different, you know? Similar thing happens in Full Metal Alchemist with the Kingdom of Xerxes. Similar things happen in Elden Ring with like the, you know, the Eternal Cities. And like kind of like the capital being built on top of a destroyed Eternal City, and the current like rulers of Elden Ring being from those, you know, like from those civilizations that existed before and are now like the bedrock for, you know, what has been built on top of it, and like the power that exists in these, you know, ancient places that, you know, could threaten the current order that has been buried. Like, it's just such an interesting thing, such an interesting concept and dynamic, and thematically like so like neat, and like I assume, you know, if I know the tropes of stories like these and the way they tend to go, I assume that the technology that was lost in these ancient times was buried because it threatens the world order, or threatened the world government, who ended up winning out in whatever this conflict was. So they wanted it to be buried so that the world, you know, no one else could rise up like the D clan did to threaten the order that came to place, or maybe displaced the previous order, as it did in like stuff like Elden Ring, and even in real life with like Rome and shit. So, you know, it's very, very interesting. I love shit like this. I'm very, very excited. So yeah, I think we should get into chapter 1066. I am gonna run and grab a quick drink. I'll be right back, and we'll get back into it in just a minute. So I'll see you guys in just a sec, and thank you for sticking around.